French seams are the perfect choice for sheer fabrics because they enclose all of the raw edges. But when I sew one and turn my fabric over to the right side, there's all kinds of little pokey strings and threads coming through. Louise, how can I fix this?
Well, we've done this on a sheer fabric so you can see through everything. It's a serge seam to begin with, so it clean finishes all that extra, so it cuts off all the little fibers. So when it's finally turned and stitched again, there's nothing that will show through onto the right side.
Now, where would you use a seam like this?
Well, we've pulled a silk charmeuse blouse, and the seam allowance running down the side seams have been done in French seams, and because it's a flat cap sleeve, we even did the armhole. So it's totally clean finished. So the entire inside of the blouse is as pretty as the outside of the blouse. Starting out with a French seam, we're going to have wrong sides together to begin with. So this row of serging is put on the outside of the garment, and again, it's just cutting out the small little feathers going across the seam allowance.
And then after you've sewn this,
we're going to take it to the yarn and press it going in one direction from both sides. It doesn't matter which way you iron this to begin with. All we want to do is flatten out our seam, and then we're going to turn it to the other side, give it a good press again, and then we're going to turn it so that that seam now is right against the very edge. We're not favoring the seam in either direction. So now that serge seam is encased. Now the seam's going to be enclosed and it's going to be stitched at 3/8 of an inch away. Our original seam was at 1/4 inch. So 3/8 an inch away. You won't see any of your feathers, you won't see the serging, but it's beefed up the seam. And here's your seam encased inside. Now, I press as I sew, so I want to set my stitches, and then depending on where this seam is in the garment, it would be pressed towards the back of the garment. So this is my inside of my garment, and here's my seam, and it's totally clean finished on the outside, and you see no feathers.
it's beautiful. Now, just to make sure, what kind of a serging stitch do you use?
This particular one was just a 3-thread. 4-thread puts a lot more stitching and a lot more weight in it. You just need a 3-thread overlock when you're doing a French seam.
Good.
And when you're doing shears, I would probably go up to almost a lingerie thread, which is about a 70 weight. This right now is about a 50 weight. So the lower the thread number, the thicker the thread. The higher the thread number, the thinner the thread.
Well, I can really see how using your serger simplifies this process.
It really does. It makes a very pretty finish.
Yes.